All right, what's up, everybody? Greetings and salutations. It's amazing to be back in the saddle after an entire week away, which that has not happened for the Doktorczyk family in many moons, actually years and years. So it's pretty cool to be back. Let's see. Are all y'all being automatically muted? You are. Well, that's okay. That's not a bad thing. Actually, you guys should be able to mute yourselves and unmute yourselves. This will be a little bit more of kind of a team huddle tonight, not so much a presentation or a formal training, although I am going to hit on a few specific items that I think are going to serve each of you really, really well in the days and weeks ahead. But go ahead and unmute yourselves and say hello. Turn on your camera. Give me a shout out. Let's see who's on with us tonight. And yeah, my familiar faces, my peeps. What's up, Mr. Skip?
Hey, Rye, how are you? Debbie's
you,
doing
man.
what a good wife is doing. She's in the kitchen barefoot getting dinner, so we're good.
I thought you were going to just simply say she's staying married to you, so.
Hey, she can hear you.
I am also barefoot making dinner in the kitchen.
Nice to see you, Ryan.
Good to see you. What's up, Rebecca? What's up,
Hello.
you guys? Mark Williams in the house, my friend. Good to see you. It's really fun to get away with the family, and it's fun to come back to the extended family. I mean, really, truly, it sounds so overly used and cliche in this industry, but Jolene and I really do think of you guys as family. And as crazy as it might sound, many of you were genuinely missed. And that's exciting, right? To know that you're in a business with people who you genuinely care about and who you miss interacting with. That's a really, how's the saying go, right? Build a life that you don't need a vacation from. Maybe that's why this was our first family vacation in years, because we've been so blessed that this industry has connected us with so many of you and blessed us with the friendships, authentically real friendships with so many of you, that I feel like that's us. Like, we really truly have a life that we don't ever need a vacation from. Now, our vacation was amazing, and we had some incredible family time. We did dream building on a whole new level. So for those of you that think you want to experience some fun with the docks at a beach retreat, right? At a bayfront and beachside retreat, that's what's in your future, provided you behave well and stay in this community. No, I'm teasing. Well, not really. I mean, you certainly need to stay connected. But yeah, there was some neat things. I mean, we really discovered a new area of the world that we fell in love with, and it's been on our hearts for many years. You know, part of our purpose, part of our why is you know, we feel like we're uniquely created to encourage, equip, and empower people to build their legacy. That's what that's kind of been the driving force for Jolene and I for most of our adult lives. And so part of our vision board has for a long time been kind of enough land to build enough structure that we could bring people in for retreats and work on legacy development with people. And so yeah, that was neat. New chapter, or an additional chapter in that book over the last week. So we'll get some pictures and stuff floating out there here shortly. And I'll tell you what, I am so grateful. I don't know, I thought he was on here. Yeah, he is. So he's just on his phone maybe, but I want to give a special thanks to several of you. I mean, it's so nice to get to go away and just know that you don't have to worry about anything. And I probably shouldn't name fingers and point names, but man, just it was great knowing that y'all were watching the shop, right? And that's another pinnacle of this industry, you guys. I mean, you can give you a business that's scalable, that doesn't have income limitations, that doesn't have overhead. And it also has the benefit of like the most world-class employees without anyone being, your employee, and without you having to be anyone's employer. But it is really neat to know that you can go away and people are gonna take care of the community, shoulder the load, carry the weight. And so thank you so much to So many of you, and then in particular, thank you to some of my dear brothers, especially Luis Rivera, who really took me through an accountability process. I mean, he's my accountability partner, and we spend a lot of time together every week by the grace of God for me. I don't know how much value Luis gets out of it, but I know I get a ton of value. Maybe I'm a good practice session for him, but man, he really made me commit, you guys, to unplugging. And I'm so grateful for that. Like I said, it's been the first time we went away in a lot of years, and this isn't going to be the RDoc monologue. Don't worry. We're going to get into some additional content, but hopefully this is meaningful for some of you guys, right? Everybody should have an accountability partner, and hopefully, you guys are not just treating that as coincidental, right? Something that may or may not happen. I would urge you to be very intentional at facilitating that process, and then put enough structure around it where there is regular interaction, and there will, you'll start to see fruit from that in your life, in all areas of your life. They don't have to be a network marketer. Luis wasn't when we started our relationship. But it was awesome, you guys, because he made me commit to really unplugging. And I don't, again, not only has it been a long time since our family went away, I don't remember the last time when I was on my phone as infrequently as I did over the last week. I mean, I rarely even looked at my phone screen, which was so cool. I mean, that was just really a huge blessing. So thank you, Luis, for that, and Skip, who weighed in a little bit as well. You guys are amazing. Appreciate you guys. So that being said, look out now. Buckle in, get ready. The last thing all of you need is RDoc recharged, and that's what you've got now. And so I hope if you guys are really seriously ready to run, and I don't fake the funk, I don't do hype. You guys know that at this point, but I'm grateful for the Lord's timing for my family vacation, because the things that are emerging now within this community and within Avoria Prime, the things that are emerging right now at this timing are going to warrant a focused run like very few times I've ever seen prior in my life. And so really good for me, probably good for a lot of you, maybe a bit much to handle for some of you. But I want to know if you guys are, and don't feel obligated to respond, but I really want to know who is ready to make a run, who's ready for things to line up so that you're properly equipped, so that you are favored with the right situation, the right environment, the right dynamics, the right alignment, the right structure, the right chemistry. How many of you guys are ready to run? You feel it, you've got it, it's pent up in you. You're ready to move the needle. You're ready to make a difference. You're ready to literally make the run that will truly result in lasting change, improvement, of course, in your life. Put something in the chat for me, or hit an emoji or do something. But I want to just get a feel for kind of where I can take the dialogue tonight, and I want it to be meaningful for everybody. And so I'm going to actually get over to the chat here. Let me just look and see. Okay, good. Ready? Yes. 777. Let's go. And again, I'm not trying, I don't want anybody to placate me. I'm not fishing for buy-in necessarily. I just want to get a pulse on where you guys are at. And then I'm going to share some things with you guys, some tangible things, maybe some things that don't seem quite as tangible as you might want them to be, but nonetheless, we're going to make this actionable for you tonight. Okay, good. Well, I like it. So here's what the first challenge. Here's the first challenge, and this will apply to all of you. I'm going to break it into two. I'm going to segment this into two components. For those of you that said you're ready to run, don't put it in the chat. You don't need to answer, but I truly want to hear from you. I want to know what things that you think you need to be able to run. Since you're ready to run, I just want to, you don't got to do it tonight, but I want you guys to reach out, and I want you to kind of tell me, what does that look like for you? You're ready to make a really serious 90-day run, not to be rote, not to be repetitious, not to do it because other people are talking about it, but I mean, again, literally to to put your full shoulder behind it with the expectation that you move a definitive stride closer towards your legacy. I want you to just tell me in your own words what things you think you need to be equipped with to be able to run. It's time. That's right. Lucia, I love that. It's time. Amen, sister. It is time. For those of you that did not affirm in the chat that you're ready to run, I also want to hear from you privately. What things do you think are holding you back from being ready? Because we want to help you guys grow, and it's okay if it's not your time to run right now. That is okay. This is not about putting pressure on you. This is not about trying to compel you to do something. In fact, I applaud you and I commend you for having a level of self-awareness that if you don't think it's your time to run, that's okay. Embrace that. But let's also embrace the significance of your legacy, of your why, and let's spend a little bit of time constructing what does that need to look like for you to feel like it's an appropriate time for you to run. And it may not be right now, but you guys understand something. Some of you know this, some of you might think this sounds shocking, especially given our role with Avoria Prime, but I want you guys to know from the bottom of my heart, and you could check this with an Alan Delaney or a Luis Rivera or a Skip or others, but your individual legacy outcome for you and your family will always supersede any company that we're ever associated with. And that doesn't mean I'm disloyal to Avoria Prime. That doesn't mean I don't believe in Avoria Prime. That doesn't mean I don't love dearly the people at Avoria Prime. It doesn't mean any of those things, but what it does mean is that you guys are our extended family, and seeing you guys achieve that for which you were purposed that's our mission. And so that will always supersede the label on the front of the building. And so that's why I'm asking the question. It's okay if it's not your time to run, but I am going to want to try to still contribute in any way that I can and Jolene can. And again, I don't mean to be singling certain people out, but again, in particular, you guys, Skip and Luis are building a legacy launchpad platform that, whether it was Avoria Prime or not, that you guys can springboard off of some of the resources that you'll get through this community to move towards your why and your legacy. And that's what fuels us. And so that's what I'm fired up about. Okay, so there's your homework, right? So that being said, let's move into some of the things that are super exciting. I mean, let's be real for a minute, right? Like I said, I don't pull punches. I don't believe in anything other than authenticity and transparency. If you're new here, hi, I'm Ryan. I love you and I'm your friend. And that's how we roll. Okay, that's just how we roll. We don't believe in pulling punches. We believe that the truth is always good enough and everyone deserves the truth. And that's how we bring it. And so on that note, while your legacy should be more important than any company, this environment, this Forex environment, and specifically with Avoria Prime, it's about to change in a really good way. We're about to turn a corner. And this isn't a hype session. This isn't, designed with any intent to try to compel you to do anything other than to live it to your fullest potential, right? To literally step into and maximize the things for which you are driven, right? Your motivators and drivers, as Skip frequently talks about. And so here's what's exciting. For those of you that have network marketing experience, you have probably thought the same thing that we have articulated several times, that, man, when the ducks are aligned properly, there will not be an easier build than this, a dynamic that can facilitate momentum better than this, because the reality is everybody wants residual income. And a lot of people don't want to have to do the MLM stuff to get it. And what we ultimately do have here is a customer-driven platform that can equip people with the ability to start to grow their wealth, whether they participate in the MLM aspect of the business or not. They can see a residual income result even without engaging in a meaningful way in the network marketing aspect of what we do. Now, again, I'm going to keep it super real tonight. I don't even know why this is recording, because I'm not going to make this available to anybody, because I don't want any of what I'm going to say to possibly be misconstrued. But I am going to keep it real, because that's what we do. Guys, gals, friends, family, listen. We have been very clear in our articulation and communication from the get-go that the products that we have had our hands on thus far are not going to be as good as it gets. And they were products born, most of you guys know this, they were products born more out of necessity than they were out of an optimal scenario, right? Avoria Prime was kind of like building an airplane in midair, literally, okay? And we're not going to get into all the backstory. We don't need to do that right now, but that's the reality of it. And the current software platform that we have, while absolutely has a fantastic track record, we have never mischaracterized the fact that it was created by institutional traders for institutional trading. And therein lies the rub, right? Every once in a while, that dynamic that would constitute a level of hands-on management of not only the software, but a point of reference to understand the markets can become potentially problematic. And I know that I'm catching a lot of flack. Steven Vetterl blew me up last week. Nice week to check out, buddy, when a couple of the pairs that a lot of our community is trading happen to go off the range. I mean, Steven Vetterl did not miss any opportunity to give me some flack last week, all in good fun, of course. He's a good friend. And so, you know, obviously none of us have control over the Forex markets. And that's something hopefully that you guys also will acknowledge that you've heard from this community, like, oh, probably no less than 7 million times, right? It only takes Alan Delaney or myself to talk for about 60 minutes, and you'll hear that fact repeated no less than a dozen times, that look, the markets are the markets. Yes, yes, and yes is the answer. There is no, you know, I love that Steven Vetterl actually says on most of his forecast sessions, hey, sorry guys, my crystal ball's in the shop. It's just, that's the deal, right? And so the markets do what the markets do. And when you have a software platform that is turbocharged, that is designed by institutional traders for institutional trading, that can be really, really good. And that can be sometimes not so really, really good. Here's what I'm excited about. The sequence of softwares that we will begin launching starting next week. Wait, did I just say that out loud? Don't hold me to that. Do not hold me to that. But I have good reason to believe that there's a relatively decent probability that next week could be the last week that we go without access to at least the variable platform, okay? So starting with variable and then sequencing all the way through to, man, can I be just humbly proud for a minute? Can I be proud and humble at the same time? Is that possible? Culminating with Haley, okay? I'm just gonna freaking say it. I can't help it. It's really good, you guys. I'm not, praise the Lord. Divine downloads left and right, but it's really good. And so the environment with which we're able to equip customers to have a really, really, really powerful, life-changing, enjoyable experience is about to arrive. We really haven't had that, if we're being honest. We haven't. We have had a difficult environment for customers to operate in, especially customers that aren't diving all into Forex. You know, people that haven't earned their moniker yet, right? Like, you know, Big Pick Daddy and Captain Pip and you know, Sir Pips a lot, and I could go on and on, right? So you know, I mean, you know, we've kind of bestowed some Forex oriented monikers on some people, but that's kind of what has been necessary to get the most out of the platform that we've had, either a really, really massive effort to immerse yourself in the learning curve, or some prior Forex experience, or at least you know, the wherewithal to spend some extra time really being attentive. Now, I'm not going to ever advocate that those things won't serve you well from now until the cows come home. Because again, we're talking about what? Forex. And the way you benefit is how? Your money. And that should be important to you, right? And so look, it's still Forex. It's still going to have the potential to have a mind of its own. But here's the good news. Moving forward with the next 5 pieces of software, they were developed by retail traders. That's all of us, by the way. That's the level at which we trade, unless some of you are swinging a multi-million-dollar bat in your trading account that I'm not aware of, and you have, you know, close to a decade of experience, then maybe you're not a retail trader. But otherwise, I think pretty much everybody on here, you fall into the category of a retail trader. And so the next series of softwares, guys and gals, and this is not meant to disparage Alexander Einstein, I'm just stating the facts. The next sequence of softwares are developed by retail traders for retail trading. What does that mean? Well, what it means is, I believe, a lot more consistency, a lot more stability, a lot less frequency of white knuckle experiences of you know, shocking levels of drawdown. I just think it's going to really, really equip us to deliver that customer experience that will facilitate momentum. I know that's one of Al Franklin's favorite words, momentum. I mean, look, talk to some of the icons of our industry, you guys. There's a few of them on here right now. Al Franklin, Hernan Lawless. Skip also has, you know, decades of the highest levels of experience. Here's what I think all of us would agree on, who've really, really built considerable network marketing businesses. It's virtually, I'm not saying entirely, but it is virtually impossible to see life-changing levels of income without momentum. You need the big mo. And that's in and out of network marketing. I mean, it's an entire chapter on the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership, right, Luis? The big mo. You need the big mo in life to accomplish substantial, significant undertakings. You need it. It's difficult to get the benefit of the big mo, the wind in your sails, when you have a catastrophic event every 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 weeks. I believe that with this next wave of softwares that we launch, with an enhanced onboarding process, with some of the things that are going to come along with that, you will see the ushering in of the big mo. And for those of you that have never experienced it, your life's about to change in a really crazy way. I'm just telling you, when you have momentum and things align correctly, you can almost succeed in spite of yourself. I'm not advocating that. We want to help all of you to be the best you can be. We want to help all of you to maximize your potential, embrace best practices, treat your business like a business. We really want to help all of you to do this at the highest level, so you can be an amazing example, so you can serve others in an effective way. But I will tell you, I've seen it too many times. The big mo is the great multiplier, okay? It just really is. Without it, your results are multiplied downward. You're getting a disproportionate level of lower results than your effort and your capability. It's just true. Without momentum, I mean, chime in, right? Al Franklin or Skip or Hernan, or, you know, these guys that have built decades of businesses. Alan Delaney's built big businesses. There's people on here who've built some big network marketing businesses. I'm just telling you guys, it's the truth. You'll see a lot of people who put in a lot of effort and they have a lot of skill and a lot of talent. Without momentum, it'll feel like they're pushing a 100,000-pound boulder up a hill. The flip side to that, and this should cause all of you to jump up and down right now, because you wouldn't have gotten on here tonight. This wasn't designed to be like a, hey, this is a customer orientation, right? These guys are all affiliates that are on here tonight, right? So look, here's the other side to this coin, and then I'll come up for air for a minute. I'll see if yeah, see, watch what Hernan's doing. You guys should look at Hernan on your screen right now. He's stealing my thunder. That's exactly right, Hernan Lawless. Guys, it's a fact though. It really is. Momentum will also take very ordinary people who maybe don't have a lot of experience, like who Jolene and I were when we started in this industry. We had a big why and we put forth a big try. And it's only because the momentum was right that we went diamond the first time that we did. Did we work hard? Yes. Did we really grow? Yes. Were we the same RDoc and JDoc then as you see now? Not even in the same solar system, no. I mean, again, my neighbor told me my first presentation was so atrocious that he should do the next one. I should just shut up and sit in the back. And I was a sponsor. I mean, like, for real, we've grown a lot, but it was because we had the benefit of momentum combined with tenacity and work ethic and intensity and focus and some entrepreneurial prowess. We had some other things going on, but without momentum, never would we have achieved time in the first time. I'm just telling you. And so I want you guys to be excited. I want you to, here's the second item on your homework assignment. I've said this so many times, there are very few things that are unique about JDoc and I. I mean, maybe quirky and weird, but not so much unique from a success standpoint. And again, you guys, I'm having fun with you. I'm not, you know, Alan and I talk about this a lot. I'm not self-deprecating. I get it. I mean, again, I thank the Lord that he gifted me with a level of intelligence and, you know, whatever, some charisma and whatever gifts I have, right? You know, other things he didn't gift me with, right? Like I'm vertically challenged. And so look, we all have our strengths and we all have our things that aren't strengths. But look, the reality is there's only a couple things we've done in business that have allowed the results. And you guys are going to have the chance to do two of these things tonight, right? This is not an altar call, but sort of, as it relates to your business, it kind of is. The first one is this: we refused to allow our current circumstances to dictate our future. I want all of you to write that down in the first person. Okay? I write it in the first person, and somebody do me a favor and type as I'm dictating here. I refuse to allow my current circumstances to dictate my future. I don't care what your current circumstances are. There's a better tomorrow for you. You can be on top of the world right now. There's another level for you of more impact, more blessing of other people, more abundance, more to give. So that's not a statement that implies that you're somehow in lack or struggling. Maybe you are, and that's fine too. That's where we were. That's when we drew that first line in the sand, you guys. It was right after we finished signing bankruptcy papers. For real. Back in 2008. We were like, if it was back in elementary school, we would have been picked as the least likely to succeed. Not, you know, like last on the kickball team. Like we were, I mean, thank God we didn't wear our shoulder on our sleeve publicly, right? Like the Bible talks about when people are fasting, right? Like don't make it obvious that you're fasting. Don't make it obvious to the world around you that you might be going through a time of lack. You know, put your faith on your sleeve instead, faith it up, get out there, put a smile on your face, know that you can still be a blessing in the lives of others, and don't let your circumstances. And so that was us when we started, you guys. Whatever that limiting factor or factors might be in your life right now, I want you guys to embrace that. Somebody wrote it. Mark Williams, thank you, my brother. I refuse to allow my current circumstances to dictate my future. Amen. All right. Here's the next one. I refuse to settle. Can anybody complete the statement? I mean, I've said this so many times. I'm curious if anybody's how close of attention. Now my feelings will be hurt. I better not do that. I'm gonna just finish saying it. I refuse to settle for a watered down version of my dream. I refuse to settle for a watered down version of my dream. Awesome, 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 awesome. Thank you, Victor. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Skip and Deb. You guys rock. Good stuff. Lee, excellent. Good. Now, don't just type it in the chat. If you don't walk away from tonight's Zoom with those two statements where you will revisit them multiple times a day, I mean, guys, yep, that's right, Mark Williams. Get the image, write it on your mirror, write it on your whiteboard. If you want to go get a tattoo, I'm down. I'll go get that tattoo with you. In fact, maybe we'll go get a couple more tattoos. Those are good ones. But you guys, you will manifest. Look, what you think about, you'll bring about, right? And so, where does that start? I'm gonna give some of you just a crazy breakthrough right now. Some of you maybe heard this, some of you maybe haven't. You guys know that there's a book called The Good Book, right? The Bible, one of the greatest success manuals, if not the very greatest success manual you could ever get your hands on. And it tells us that life and death are in the power of the tongue. Do you know why that is? Do you know why that is? So it stems from the statement I just made. What you think about, you bring about. Guess what? You have the power to shape what you think about by what you speak about. By what you speak about. You are the greatest influencer of your thoughts, because what's closest to your own mouth? That's right, Sean Fields. The closest thing to your own mouth. What we say to other people matters, but not as much as what we say to ourselves matters. What we say to ourselves is paramount over anything we would say to other people. In fact, what we say to ourselves will shape what we say to other people, okay? And so this is why I want you guys to have these two statements that we just talked about, not just in the chat tonight. It wasn't for my edification. I've got them memorized. I live by them. It was for your edification, so we can start to build for you the thought process that will fuel the next 90 days to be life-changing for you, right? If you guys are tracking, let me see some confirmation in the chat. Good. Okay, good. You guys are tracking. That's why I want you guys to have these two statements not only at your fingertips. I want you to, again, put them everywhere. Put 3x5 cards on your fridge, or if you have a stainless steel fridge, like most of you probably do, just grab a dry erase marker and write it on there. Put it on your mirror. Put it by your desk. Put it, put it to where you are gonna manifest that, because it's what you think about, and speak it out loud several times a day. When you read it out loud. Watch what happens. I'm just saying. And so what next? And then I'm going to shut up. I want to hear from some of the other amazing leaders. I mean, you can tell, right? I missed kind of being in the mix here, and so now you can't shut me up. But again, it's just good timing, you guys. It's more than that. I want you guys to be ready. That come, maybe it's next week, maybe it's after next week. We are now days away, not weeks away, right? So if it's not next week, I'm telling you, it's going to be. We are days away from launching the next software, which is going to create a whole new environment. It's going to come out of the gates with a series of onboarding videos that we just now finally got for Alexander and Einstein, right? Like, how long have we actually had? Think of the onboarding process that we just got. And imagine even if we would have had that from day one, how much faster could you have grown your business, right? Look at some of you are shaking your head like Al Franklin. I see him going, yeah. I don't want to be able to count on both hands how much time I've spent playing customer service agent, right? And I love how Sal has embraced this, right? Alan's like, you talking to me? I've probably logged 7,000 hours. I've logged the equivalent of 7 full-time jobs playing customer service agent, right? Over the last 2 years, no doubt. I love that Sal's embraced that none of us, right? Al Franklin, we talked about this at the retreat. None of us should be burdened and saddled with the obligation to be customer service agent. So imagine an onboarding process right out of the gates with a brand new piece of software that, by the way, is still crushing it. We can share with you guys some updates if you want. Alan and I started a new live account together that's already over 4% this week with Variable. Wait, did I say that out loud? It just went into the market on Sunday night, you guys. And the drawdown, I don't know, what is it? What's the drawdown right now? I don't know. So stupid. Oh my gosh. So look, you're going to have a piece of software that gives people an amazing experience. You can have an onboarding process that unburdens you from slowing down your growth. What is it? I can't see. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's probably much of a drawdown at all. I love it.
23 bucks.
Oh, wow. Okay. Dang it, dude. We're almost at 1%. And guys, it's just been like that. I mean, it is. It's again, past performance is never indicative of future results. Can't guarantee the future, but from what I've seen from a 10-month account, from a 11-week account, and from now the first week on a new account, I mean, it is going to be that thing that can move the needle for everybody, because your customers are going to get a great experience. And so I started off tonight saying, what would that look like if you were finally in the right place at the right time, where the right things were in alignment? Obviously, we need your mindset to be in the right alignment. We need you to have crystal clarity on your why. And so before I miss the most important piece to the last two statements I had you write down, here's the last homework assignment. What does it look like? You guys, everybody's why has a price tag. Do you want to equip 2 million people in Africa with drinking water? Great. Do you know that has a price tag? Figure out what it is. Don't let your purposeful impact of your exertion of effort in your life go to the grave with you because you were ambiguous about it. Don't shy away from the fact that everyone's dream has a price tag. That's okay. I don't care if it's a Ferrari, a mansion, or 7 million wills in Africa, or anything in between, changing the world, feeding the hungry, or all those things combined. Just please embrace the fact that your dream has a price tag, and we will help you figure out where in the comp plan, where in your trading account, where do we need to get you so that you are financially resourced to execute on your dream. Do you understand that? Your money is just serving the function of equipping you to execute on your dream. That's it. That's the purpose of money. Otherwise, there's not a whole lot of purpose to it. If you think the purpose of money is just for you to survive, you're missing it altogether, okay? We're not here for people to stay in survival mode at all. We don't, you might be going through hell, but don't pitch your tent there, right? If all you're doing is surviving right now, don't pitch your tent there, please. The idea of money in your life is to resource you to do something so much bigger than survive, okay? But I need to know where we need to get you in the comp plan, and where, what role does your trading account need to play, and your leaders need to know. You can have, this doesn't have to be an RDoC only exercise. You can do this with an Alan Delaney. You can do this with a Hernan Wallace, with an Al Franklin. There's others on here. You can walk through this with Luis, my gosh, with Skip. There are a lot of amazing people in this community that are equipped to do this exercise with you, but don't not do it. Don't not do it. Okay, so we need you to take what we've talked about tonight. We need you to condense that into what is the price tag on your dream. And then please promise me, I want to ask everybody, if you've stuck around this long tonight, affirm it right now in the chat. Put I promise. Promise me you will reach out to somebody, and we're going to launch into the next 90 days the right way, with you being clear, not disillusioned, not ambiguous about what you're really aiming for. Let's get this done, because the 90 days are going to be the biggest springboard I think I've ever seen to finally equip all of us to do that. All right. And I don't take this lightly. There's lots of other things we could be doing. We're doing everything we can in our power, right? Including delivering a piece of software that's going to be life-changing for a lot of you. I mean, I hope that doesn't come off as arrogant, but if you'd spent the kind of hours that Alan and I have building, analyzing, testing, tweaking, I mean, my gosh, you guys would be, you're about to experience it for yourselves, so you will see. It's time, you guys. I love what Lucia said, right? It's time, right? It's time. So with that, I think that's really all I've got for tonight. I had some other notes. I'll circle back around to those on a future, whatever, Tuesday or Thursday or something. But I'll stay on for as much time as you guys would like. Just know that it's coming in the next however many days, you guys. I mean, there may be an announcement before this week's over that, guess what? You can have access to variable going into next week. Probably not, but it's possible. Every day, finalizing the back-end APIs and literally just some of the very minor details at this point are being worked on feverishly. So it literally could be any day now. And this is coming directly from Bill Wynn. Okay, this is from Bill Wynn's mouth to my ears. Don't hold me to it, he said. So I repeat that, don't hold me to it. But It could literally be before this week's over. Probably a more appropriate expectation would be before next week is over. But guys, do you understand how fast the next handful of days are going to go by anyway, right? And so we're on the precipice. And so that being said, any of you other amazing servant leaders for whom I am grateful and humbled that you're also part of this community, if you guys have any thoughts that you'd like to share, I would love to hear those thoughts as well.
Yeah, so Ryan, Al here.
Hi, Al.
I was just going to mimic what you said, that I was fortunate to go back with you, meet up with you and Sal and everybody last weekend, I think it was, or a week before, I forget. But, you know, the deal is that I've been circling back to many of the people that got started with me a week ago, 5 weeks ago, 3 months ago, 4 months ago. And, you know, be truthful, I've lost about probably 60 people that are not no longer subscribing because they couldn't afford the software for $189. They weren't willing to go out and share with 3 people, or whatever circumstances were out there, which is, to me, that's business. You know, you're not going to keep everybody. But the point is that I've circled back to quite a few of these people, and you'd be surprised how many people are now very, very open about coming back and trying our new software, which is totally night and day compared to Alexander here, which Ryan and Alan know all about, and Hernan. So I would encourage any of you, if you even only have one person, or you've got prospects that you've been working on, or if you've got a team of 50 or 100 people in your group, I would make every effort to get back with everybody and share with them. And what I've done for probably 6 hours a day is text everybody I knew in my downline about tomorrow's call. You know, tomorrow's important call at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where they're going to actually announce the 4 software programs are going to be released here soon. So it's all about promoting, guys. It's all about promoting and building the downline. You've got to promote. Hernan, you know this just as well as I. And I just want to say, hey, thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Hernan. Thank you, Alan, for all the hundreds of hours you guys have put in to this point on onboarding our people from the beginning. I've never even set up one software. I've always relied on you guys or other people. And you guys have went out of your way. I know that you spend hundreds of hours, I'm sure, and, you know, taking time out of your daily activities of building your Avoria Prime, you devoted many, many hours just in setting people up, which we are all thankful for. I just want to thank you guys for that.
Absolutely, Al, and thank you for everything you do to continue to serve this community.
Thank you, Al. Thank you, Al. So let me tell you how I'm feeling. You know, I'm feeling like we're at the beginning of something huge. I mean, think about it, guys. I mean, this is like a whole brand new industry, and we're right in the front end of it. And we've been working with the software, learning how to use the software, learning how it works, how it's set up. I mean, we have a strong foundation underneath us inside of this new industry. And I kind of feel like it's like we're at the beginning of when Bitcoin first started. You know, how many people passed on Bitcoin? Think about it. I mean, I passed on it. I remember when it was $100, right? Think about that. We're getting involved at the very beginning of a new industry where we're using artificial intelligence to trade in the Forex, and we're learning how to use this software right at the beginning. I mean, to me, I just can't I'm so excited about that. And here, look we're getting this new software, right? These 4 new softwares, 5 new softwares, right? And they work so much differently than what we've had. Imagine what we're going to have in the future, 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now. Where are we going to be? How much are we going to know about the Forex? And what are our live accounts going to look like? I mean, I'm jazzed. I'm stoked. Yeah, I'm super jazzed.
Amen, Hernan. Good words. I love the crypto analogy. That's so good. I mean, timing favors the bold. How? Because they take action, right? I mean, timing. A lot of us have had timing and we didn't we didn't take action.
Think about it. I'm going to tell people, hey, don't blow it, man. Do not blow it like I did with crypto and I did with other things. Look at this thing, massage it, look it over, get it, use it for a few weeks. If you don't like it, get out, whatever. You don't want to miss out on this wave. This is going to be a huge wave, and we're going to ride this sucker. I want you to come with us, you know?
Amen.
Hey, you guys. Thank you, Hernan, Al, and Ryan in particular for your passion and leading this group with that vision and your indefatigable giving and speaking back into us. That means so much. The world beats us up enough. It's nice to be in a community that picks us up, not beats us up. I just want to speak to timing, as you have alluded to. I kind of resent the fact that you suggest I'm so stinking old, but I'll overlook that for this case. But those of us like Hernan, Al, Alan, those of us that have been around for a little while, there's only one time for this momentum time. Amway is still around. You can jump in all day long in Amway, but there was only one time that Amway had their trajectory growth momentum. Only one time. They've been around for 60, 70 years, but there's only one time that's the beginning time, and that's this time with the Warrior Prime. And for this audience that's here, if that reignites that view, or just hear the fact that those of us that have been around for 30 years in this industry, there's only one time for a beginning. It'll be around in a year, 5 years, 10 years, but never will you see the growth, the trajectory, the momentum, the opportunity in the trajectory as it is right now. So I just wanted to throw that in, being an old guy in this industry, just throwing that out there.
Well, thank you for your seasoned veteran experience and expertise and perspective, Skip. We'll call it that. Seasoned veteran, accomplished leader. How about that? Does that feel better? Accomplished leader. You guys, on a side note, like, he'll correct me if I misspeak because he's invited to do that. But do you guys understand Skip was brought in to be a co-owner of a fledgling MLM, and with Skip's addition to that group of people that were trying to launch an MLM, it went from being roughly $1 million entity to, help me if I get them wrong, Skip, a 50 million in the subsequent less than 12 months. Did I get it right?
Yes, that was
So,
just a little, okay, we keep that within the family. It's not a point of pride. It's just a point of I was part of a great group, and I was able to be part of that and see what that looks like. So I have that experience from zero to having been in that momentum. That's why I'm identifying you. I'm telling you, when I jumped on board and we came on and we had some things to rearrange, we were at about $1 million. In 10 months, we were at $52 million. So that happened that quickly. Now, I'll tell you what, the next $50 million, it didn't take 10 months. It took much longer. There's only one time that's a beginning time. So
that's awesome. And that's exactly why I kind of wanted to bring up some of your specific experience, Skip, because it's so relevant. I don't want that to fall on, I don't want to call it deaf ears, but I don't want it to lose the weightiness it should have with everybody. The guy Skip's speaking from a unique position of experience and perspective that very few people will ever get to benefit from. Each of us, myself included, can benefit substantially from Skip's perspective because he's seen this dynamic, this timing from a vantage point that few of us would ever even have in our proximity, right? And so I value greatly your words of wisdom, Skip, and your perspective are invaluable. So thank you. All right.
Yeah, actually, if it's all right if I say something real quick too.
Matty Ice, of course.
I just want to say something I put in the chat that I want to say with like more of a Forex based background. So I'm very new when it comes to the network marketing aspect. Been in sales with GNC for like a decade, but that's a different type. That's retail sales, a little bit different, you know. So networking, I'm new, and I admit it, I'm very green with it. But from a Forex point, I will say I have a lot more experience, and I will say that the idea of AI into the retail market for a while is, and still is, a very scary thing to not only institutions but the government. The idea of so many traders having access to something that before, like Stephen himself has said, if he could get his clients even just 1% in like a couple week time span, he'd be beating them out the door because he wouldn't be able to take in so many clients at once. So the idea of retail traders, which right now, by the way, the proportions of retail traders as far as the amount of money they inject into the market as opposed to every other type is only 20% right now. 20%. That's all retail traders across the globe. They only make up 20% of the entire 6.6 to 7 trillion a day that's injected into the market. That number is about to drastically flip on its head because so many retail traders now, which by the way, as well, another side point, quick side point, I have been in many different organizations. I have never seen anything like this. And institutional traders and institutions and the government all hate the idea of so many traders having access to this kind of technology because they can put them out of business. Let's just be honest. Why are people going to want to go to an institution and pay so much more money when they can have access to that very same software themselves and manage it? Oh, and by the way, now you have an institutional trader, ex-institutional trader, right? Stephen Vetterall, giving you market updates on the weekly basis with software that's better than what he was using. That's just an insane fact. So when everybody's saying that we're on a pinnacle of something and you think it's maybe just a hype, no. I'm serious. I'm telling you from a Forex background, this is not hype. This is reality, that we are quite literally on the pinnacle and the leading pinnacle at that, on the edge of something breaking into a market that has never really been tapped into this way, especially on this level of tech. It's unheard of. So we truly are on that massive break, as what everybody's been saying so far. I just want to validate that from like a Forex standpoint, that this is huge. And I don't think anybody quite exactly gets it except for the people that either have seen this market or seen any market like that flip on its head. The whole Forex market is going to flip on its head. That's a crazy change that affects quite literally the entire globe. So we're on something huge. I just want to validate that.
Amen. Maddie, love that, man. Love hearing that fire in your voice. You can always hear your passion for the arena of Forex, and it's really fun to just hear that exude in, your unique perspective in adding proper appreciation and proper, again, perspective to what we really have our hands on from a Forex standpoint. I mean, it's this is going to be the it that so many people have been searching for, in some cases, decades, literally. And we're going to get to play a role in that, in the outcome of their story. And I hope that's something that none of us take lightly, because to whom much is given, much is required. We're being given right now something, profound. Yeah, amen, Mark Williams, amen. We really are. And so anybody else have any final thoughts before we call it an evening? All right, so
I really appreciate you and Jolene much. Thank you guys for being who you are, and thank you for pouring yourselves out into us and our community, and just thanks for being there. You guys do so much. It's unbelievable. I can't imagine the kind of energy, effort that you guys have put into this thing. It's just amazing to me. Thank you so much.
Well, Thank you, Hernan. It's only because we're surrounded by Mark Williams, Sean Fields, Al Franklin, Don Parent, Skip and Deb, Rebecca, Shane, Myra, Randy, Hernan, Ruben, Gord, Alan, Sam, Lucia, Maddie, Ice, Jim Williams, Brian, Simon, Jacoby, Sandy, Luis Rivera, Joseph, Paulo, Kenny Rojas, Lee Resnick. I mean, I could go, like, for real, you guys, we're just a reflection of the community. And this, you know, if there's anything that you guys think warrant acknowledging in Jolene and I, that's simply a reflection of each of you. I mean, really, truly, there's not much more to it than that. We're just a reflection of each of you guys, but we're grateful. I mean, I appreciate that, Hernan. Thank you for those kind words. And yeah, y'all ain't seen nothing yet. I can guarantee you that. This is about to, like I've been saying a little bit recently, the good is about to get a whole lot gooder. For real. I mean, you guys, it's about to get super exciting. And so let's wrap up with this final thought. Look, I love what we had started doing before I went on vacation. And I know, again, thank you, Alan and Al Franklin and Hernan. And I know some of you guys kind of kept that rolling while we were gone. I want to get back in the mix where we can come together on a Zoom at whatever intermittent times throughout the day that are a good fit for your guys' perspective, future customers, potential teammates, etc. And so we will make that information available as those particular dates and times come available. We'll make sure that all of you know. But this is the time. This is. I hope my voice box is sufficiently worn out over the next 7 to 10 days. Like make me earn it, use me, abuse me, and Al Franklin and Skip and Alan Delaney and Herman, and again, there's a group here that can share this vision, right? Luis Rivera, there's several on here, Simon, there's people on here that can share this vision. So let's go. Let's Luis has written some blogs about this, and you guys have heard him talk about this. For those of you that tune in on Saturdays, the art of the swing, right? I like the acronym for TEAM. Together, everyone achieves more, right? Together, everyone achieves more. So let's all row together. This is the time. There's never been I think, a more poignant time where if we all row together, watch what happens for each individual. So I'm fired up, you guys. Let's make this an amazing lead-in. I think it was Hernan, or I don't know, I might be misspeaking. I think, or Hernan or Al, or somebody said promote, right? I apologize if I'm taking credit from one of you and giving it to the other, but you guys all know this. Look, blockbuster movies become blockbusters before tickets were available for sale. It's because of the promotion cycle. This is the promotion cycle time, you guys. This is the time to go twice as hard as act as though the software's already out. Go hard. Act like the software's only going to be available. Here's a mindset. Here's the last thing. Parting shot. It's where we're going. Act like only the people who decide to get their subscription to Variable in the first 3 days are the only ones who get it, and everyone else misses out. If you will operate with that level of urgency to do good by others, you're not trying to get something from them. You're not trying to boost your rank or boost your check. Get yourself in that frame of mind. Oh my gosh, if I don't help them get the information they need right now, they won't be one of the ones who gets it in the first 3 days, and then they'll never get access to it. Put yourself in that frame of mind that you don't want people to miss out. That's what's going to move the needle for you guys in your businesses. That's what's going to give you individual momentum. A rising tide will raise all ships, provided that ship is in deep enough water. I hope you guys are ready to be in deep water. Your list is how deep your water is. If you got a 3-person list, you're in 3 feet of water. Don't matter how high the tide rises, right? Your boat ain't out far enough. Get your boat into deep water. Get a big list of people you want to bless, and then move forward starting right now with the highest level of urgency you've ever had to make sure they don't at least miss out on the chance to do what? Make their own decision on whether or not this is the right fit for them, for their why and their future. And the worst case that'll come of this, you guys, for those of you that fear away, that shy away from prospecting, I know the phone seems like it can weigh, 10,000 pounds. Here's what I want you to embrace as we conclude tonight. If your willingness to reach out to them and make a simple invite that goes something like this, like, look, I've got my hands on something groundbreaking. It may or may not be for you, and either way is okay with me. But here's what I believe. I believe everybody has a dream inside them that they would rather live it than only visit it when they close their eyes at night. And if I could play even a small role in helping remind you that there's a dream out there waiting for you, I'd love for you to see this platform. And if it's not for you, that's okay. You know what you did, folks? If nothing else, maybe you were the instrument that reawakened someone's willingness to visit their dream, even if it's not with Amoria Prime. And I promise you, our Father in heaven will heap blessing upon blessing upon blessing in your life for being the person who was willing to be the messenger in the lives of others. So you guys, this is the time to build a big list. This is the time to not worry about the outcome. Just look for that chance to get to be a blessing for other people. Make the invite. We don't care about the rest. The results will take care of themselves. And let's go share the good news. All right, you guys, here for you. Love you guys. God bless you. Thank you for being the best part of this awesome community. You guys are massive enrichments in the lives of the Doc fam. So we're truly grateful for each and every one of you. Have a great night, you guys.